Okay, so now I have my oil, and my oil, this is olive oil, and it's heated in the bottom of the pan. I'm going to take my flour. The recipe calls for 2 tablespoons, but I'm making more sauce so that we have enough sauce to go over the noodles. So I'm going to just add in enough flour, and by the way, you want to whisk it because you don't want any lumps. It's just like making a gravy, but we're doing a cream sauce. I'm going to add enough flour to soak up the oil that I put in here. So this was about a cup of flour, and that's plenty. And I'm just going to let it soak it up. I'm going to add my butter. I'm doubling my recipe, so my butter, I put in 4 tablespoons of butter. Okay? And we're just gonna whisk this until it turns a medium brown. And then once it turns a medium brown, we're going to add our beef broth. But you just want to whisk it and make sure that it doesn't stick and there's no lumps. Because who likes lumpy cream sauce or lumpy gravy? Okay, so now that we have our base, flour, oil, and butter is a medium brown, as you can see. Okay, we're going to slowly add in 2 cups of beef broth. Again, and you want to whisk as you go along. Okay, it's going to get a little thick with the flour, but the beef broth will thin it out. And of course, if you need more beef broth, you can always add more. Okay. We got our heat on medium. Okay. So now that we have this, and I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. Now I'm going to add 2 cups of milk. Now you can use heavy cream. Actually, I have a 1/2 cup of milk and a 1/2 cup of heavy cream. Okay, and you want to just continue to whisk it around and get it all stirred up. Ooh, that's beautiful. Simply beautiful. Okay, and this is just a simple cream sauce for these Swedish meatballs. All right. So then the next thing is we're going to add some Worcestershire sauce. Because that's the secret ingredient in the cream. And you can add as much or as little. I'm going to just, y'all know I kind of like, I'm just adding probably about 2 or 3 tablespoons. Let's add a little more, okay? Because this is Worcestershire sauce for making homemade Swedish meatballs. Is really the secret ingredient. And then from here we're going to add our seasoning. Okay, so I'm going to add in a little pepper, a little salt, and you can add as much or as little seasoning as you wish. A little salt, and I'm going to add just a little, because you know I always add my own, a little onion powder. This is just my recipe for making Swedish meatballs. And I like garlic. Y'all know I like garlic. So I'm going to add just a little garlic. It's just my my way. I like food that's seasoned, but not too much where it takes away. And so that's it for the sauce. Okay, you want to continue to whisk until it's all combined. Okay, because you don't want it to stick. And it's a simple cream sauce to make. Very simple. Okay, now if you find that your sauce is a little too thick, you can always add more milk. I wouldn't add cream to thin it out. Heavy whipping cream, I would add more milk to thin it out. But this is a very good consistency for my sauce for these Swedish meatballs. Okay, so that's it for the sauce, guys. Simple, right? Okay, so now we're gonna add our meatballs. Now you can always make your own meatballs, roll them and do the breadcrumbs and your seasoning and your egg and all of that. I'm just not, sometimes I do, but I'm all about the quick. So in my local grocery store, Kroger, they have these Swedish style meatballs. And they're made by this company, Cooked Perfect. Now the meatballs are already seasoned Swedish style, okay? They also have Italian style, home style, turkey, so on and so forth. So this is my little cheat that I use because I don't have to go about rolling meatballs and putting in the different seasonings to make it a Swedish meatball, okay? So I'm going to use these. This bag has, it says 52 meatballs, which is more than enough for my husband and I. So now it's just a point of adding the meatballs. And we're just gonna drop those all in, okay? Because you really wanna have enough sauce to coat the meatballs and then add to your, and I hope y'all are seeing this. My lighting is not all that great in this kitchen. To add to have like a gravy sauce, okay? And so now we have those in here, and the only thing left to do is to cover the pot. And where's my pot? My cover. Oh my. Oh, here it is. The only thing left to do is to cover the pot. I'm going to turn my heat down to like a low medium. And then you're just going to let those cook for about 25 minutes or so. And you want to stir them occasionally. Okay, so this is what they're looking like with the meatballs. I'm also going to, at this point, add a little parsley to them, which you can add while you're cooking, or you can add after you get it cooked. But a Swedish meatball is not a Swedish meatball without parsley, right? Okay, so, and we're just going to let these little jewels cook for 25 minutes or so. And then we'll be back with the final product. Okay, champions, and this is the final product. I have my Swedish meatballs on top of white egg noodles. This is just a Walmart brand of egg noodles, and you just boil them, add a little butter, and that's it. So, let's tasty. And see what it is going on here. Very good. And so what I want to share with you guys, this is actually delicious, is that if you don't have beef broth, you can use chicken broth. It gives it a nice flavor as well. If your gravy or your sauce happens to be too thick, thin it out with some milk, thin it out with some water, thin it out with some chicken broth or beef broth. All of them will work. And it's a very economical dinner, and it's quick. Now you can also make this same dish in your crock pot. You can either make your sauce ahead of time and then pour it in the crock pot and then add your your meatballs to it, or well, I will find it hard to make the sauce in the crock pot because of the flour, and you don't want it to be lumpy. So what I would say is to just make your sauce ahead of time. It really doesn't take very long to do the sauce, and then add it to the crock pot, and then add your meatballs, turn it on, and go. And by the time you come home from work or to the end of the day, then you have Swedish meatballs, okay? So that's it for today's recipe. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below if you have a Swedish meatball recipe and if you like Swedish meatballs, okay? Let me know if you're planning on trying out this quick little recipe. And until the next video, champions, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to comment, like, and share. That will help me out a whole lot. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button down below and come on aboard and join the family of champions here on the YT. For my ride or die, thank you so much for continuing to support my channel. And until the next video, be the best that you can be every single day. Smooches!